Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have the founder of Vanguard SMP joining us. It's Dennis Romero from Orlando, Florida. We're going to talk about some amazing work that he does in helping those, especially with hair loss, and to really help you gain your confidence back. So we're going to learn what SMP is. We're going to learn about him, how the whole program works. And first and foremost, let me say welcome. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm
Good to
glad
have
to
you
be
here.
here with you. Yes, absolutely.
Well, first and foremost, please introduce yourself to our listeners. Thank you.
My name is Dennis Romero. I am the founder of Vanguard SMP. We are a scalp micropigmentation clinic that specializes in hair loss treatment.
Wow, this sounds fancy, SMP, right? And some people are like, wait, what did he just say? Scalp micropigmentation. What is that exactly?
Okay, so basically, it's a hair tattoo.
Awesome.
It is a hair tattoo that simulates a hair follicles that gives the overall illusion of a full head of hair, right?
Yeah,
So
amazing.
basically, yeah, that's exactly what it is, and it's undetectable. And yeah, it's like since I had it done, like I've never looked back.
Well, you see, now we're going to learn his story and journey too. Thank you so much for sharing. So I would never know. It just looked like your hair's growing in. You have a short little cut thing going on. Wow,
Correct, correct.
impressive.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Because yeah, that's the whole point. That's what it hinges on. It
Yeah.
has to be undetectable.
110%. If you're not on the Zoomcast right now, if you're just listening, you got to check this out later because I hope you'll link it to your social media and stuff or your website. But your head looks amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
And your
yeah.
full beard, is this natural or is this
This
pigmentation?
is Ala Natural.
Wow. You would
Yeah,
never know the difference. Okay. This is awesome because this is a life changer. So many people, men and women, suffer with hair loss, right? And the
absolutely.
self-confidence. Tell me about your clients. Tell me about yourself, right? When you don't have
So
hair. What?
so I lost my hair. I started losing my hair at like 17, like towards the end of high school, and nobody wants to be bald for high school or
No,
college,
of
right?
course not.
So it was something that was like quite troubling to me just because I was at that stage. And I think it doesn't even matter the age that you're at. Like people don't want to be bald, right? You know what I'm saying? Guys sometimes resolve themselves to it, right? But really, like if you really looked inside, like they don't want to be bald. They just thought they didn't have an option, and they resolved themselves to being bald. But I did not resolve myself to being bald at 17, right? So yeah, so at 17, the clumps were coming out, and one day I just buzzed it. I was in my dorm room, and yeah, I just said today's the day. And I was an art major. I've always been in the arts in some form or fashion, right? So I was at FIT in Manhattan, and yeah, so I just buzzed it. And you know what? I saw a fine tip Sharpie over on the desk, and it was just like boom. Okay, let me try it. Let me try it. And then I went in front of the mirror and I did my hair with the fine tip Sharpie. And then when I looked, I said, that looks pretty damn good. Let me test it at class, because if they can't tell, nobody can tell. And I went to class and nobody was the wiser for it. They did not know. And so
Wow.
from yeah, and this is over 20 years ago. So SMP wasn't even a thing yet, even though I was doing it. I just wasn't using a tattoo gun as a permanent art tool.
Wow, what a story. This is an amazing story. And how, by the way, hair loss affects us in so many different ways. I'm a female who has very short hair. I have hair extensions in because I hate my hair. And I know how insecure I feel when they're not in. And there's something about feeling that you have hair. It just makes you feel better. And I could
Yes,
imagine all your happy clients. I've seen your testimonials and we're going to talk more about the process. And thank you for sharing your journey and experience with us. And wow.
absolutely.
So to make this into a career and help so many. So now back up. So now where
Mhm.
are you? Tell me your journey and then how you got here and how did you get the training for this?
So basically, like I said, that was over 20 years ago, right? And I
Yeah.
did that for almost 20 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated to makeup, but it's living with the anxiety of sweating and melting before your audience, or getting pushed in
Mm-hmm.
a pool at a pool party. Like there's always this underlying anxiety when you're trying to conceal it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you don't have to do that, like it's so liberating, right? It's so liberating.
I remember my clip and hair extensions. The feeling of, oh my gosh, I got to take them out, and then I feel like I'm naked and I feel ugly, and oh my gosh, how am I going to go to bed with this guy that I'm dating now? And now he knows I don't have really much hair. I'm like, ah. Then they made
It
like the
happens.
tape-ins and the beads, but still, it's wow. So it looks more permanent, even though it's not. But this is awesome, awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
and
I
I
want to.
mean, it's also like effective for women. Like you guys thin a little bit differently than we do. We like recede to the back. You guys kind of have generalized thinning, right? So
Hmm.
if you apply scalp micropigmentation, provided there's enough hair, then you will achieve a fuller head of hair. So if ever you're in need,
Wow.
I hope not. I hope not, but
Like, look, see, I have, hold on, I'll pull this out here. I don't know if you can tell on the Zoom because of the background, but I have little, look, see this little wisps. This is my hair. Little wispies. Doesn't grow in certain areas. It's very thin and it's like up to here. So these are like all the extensions. But yeah, everyone has their own issues and
yeah,
their own whatever. But,
yeah.
for people even suffering with like alopecia, right? Uh, j-
Yes,
there's all different conditions
absolutely.
out there. What about, those that are going through cancer? Some lose their hair
Correct.
permanently. Some lose it, but
Correct.
this is a great solution to
It
make
really
them
is.
gain that confidence back, right?
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, after especially after an illness, the person
Yeah,
the person is already shaken. So in addition to that, to not have hair, it just compounds, where they're at.
exactly. Well, let's go over a little bit about the process and the techniques. I know you wanted to go into kind of specifics about this artistry and how it works.
So basically, it's just pointillism. It is taking a very, very fine needle and meticulously and painstakingly like apply tiny dots until you fill the entire scalp.
Ooh, wow. Now, how long does it take normally? About anywhere from, I guess it all depends, right? If it's a whole head,
It
half a head.
normally it takes several sessions because
Okay.
if we try to squeeze it in all into one, we'd be there for 24 hours straight. And the skin
Yeah.
would be in a condition that would not be good for it, right? It would be too beat up. And so we break it up into multiple sessions and then we incrementally build the density and the depth of tone in terms of the ink or pigment.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, how is it painful? Pain level? Do you numb it ahead of time? Could you share that part of it? I mean, I believe, a
So
pain. What is what my grandma used to say? Oh, no pain, no gain. And it's true. Like, when it comes to beauty, yeah, it may be a little painful, right? But hey, come on.
yeah, yeah, it's got to get done. So the pain threshold is pretty good because it's not the same as body art. Okay. Body art penetrates the skin far, far deeper. And for that reason, there's scabbing and there's bleeding and there's pain. I have body art tattoos. They're miserable.
I don't have any, so I don't know. But okay, tell me.
Okay, so a body art this is what it feels like. A body art tattoo feels like you fell, scraped your knee, and then I took a Brillo pad to your open knee.
Ooh, all right. All right. Could deal with that, but got a
Not
good
trying to
outcome.
just
But so let's not discard. No, no,
yeah,
but
not dissuading you from a body art tattoo, but they're pretty grisly.
honesty. We like honesty here.
Yeah, pretty grisly. While this cosmetic tattooing only enters like the first layer of the skin, just past the first layer into that second layer.
So
And that therefore the pain is far less because you're just not penetrating the skin that deeply where you're drawing blood.
yeah. So let me ask. I mean, usually have a few sessions, right? And then there's a touch-up process. Is it like a tattoo where things kind of fade a little bit? So you come
Correct.
back over the course of a few years, or it depends,
Absolutely.
right?
You
Okay.
have to, unless if you're someone that's okay and you just want to let it fade out, you
Yeah.
have that flexibility and freedom. You're not married to it essentially, right? But
Yeah.
if you want to come back to it and you want to give it that initial pop, then yes, that's a touch up.
Amazing. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for sharing this. And I want to also now talk about some of the client experiences and transformations. And I urge everyone, hold on, as I pull it back up again, the website, because really seeing is believing. And I want people to see. You got to go to the website, vanguardsmp.com. And again, pattern baldness, scar camouflage, even hairline.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at this. These before and afters are amazing. I would
Yeah,
love.
and if you check the Instagram page, it's got almost the whole catalog. It's got a lot more
Okay, well,
pictures.
you need to share your screen next time. We need to see some before and afters. This is amazing. And
Yeah.
you're also helping people. People have done the hair transplant thing, right? And they do have a scar. It looks like you're able to fix scars too. Yeah.
Right, because that's what ends up happening. Most guys are not candidates for hair transplants because the hair loss is ongoing. Okay. So once you've wiped out the donor hair, you're
Yeah,
done because you have no more hair to pull, right? So then you're in
correct.
no man's land because you still feel bald. And in addition to that, it looks like you were in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like back here, right? So it's
Hmm.
it's not a good place for guys to be. They're very, very self-conscious about it. And that's why I don't recommend transplants because they'll sell you a pie in the sky dream to sell you the surgery. But the reality of it is that a large portion of hair transplants fail in the long run.
Wow, this is amazing. This is beautiful work you're doing. And for
Thank
those out
you.
there, I just want to read here's a few reviews. Dennis is one of the best SMP artists in the business. That's from Alexis. Mayo says Dennis did an amazing job. It looks perfect. I was, looking around to get the SMP, but the professionalism, communication skills with Dennis sold him within minutes. By the way, you're in Orlando, Florida, but also other states. Fill me in. Where are your locations? This is like a franchise now. Is that true?
So yeah, so basically we're in
Ah.
Orlando and we had a spot in Naples, Florida, but we moved that to Tampa. We have Silver Springs, Maryland. This is between me and my business partner, right? So we've combined our businesses at this point, and now we
Oh.
have Silver Springs, Maryland. We have Los Gatos, California. We have Vegas, Nevada.
Wow, wow, wow. This is
Yeah.
fascinating. I cannot believe what I'm looking at. It just looks so beautiful. And then people, wow. And do you do like a virtual consultation? Can you even like a
Absolutely,
3D?
yeah.
You
It's because
can.
yes, some people, yeah, because people's schedules are all over the place. So if you make it easier for them by having Zoom consultations, over the phone consultations, and of course in-person consultations, yeah, just make it as easy as possible for them to talk to you.
Oh my goodness. So let me just point out though, also you and so I call you a cosmetic hair tattoo artist. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's several names, but that's a viable one. Yeah.
Okay, and so you and your team, obviously all licensed, all trained professionally, and you also train others too.
We also train other like newer technicians. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, so you're mainly in the Orlando office, or do you do the commute over to Tampa sometimes as well?
Oh yeah, I do the commute. I kind of oversee everything because I'm like anal and I need to make sure everything is
You're
as it
OCD
should
like
be.
me. You're
As it should be.
OCD like me. Like, and for the ladies like me, like if I didn't have my headset on, but like that part, you see, it's like you could even like
That is
add some.
such an easy fix for you. Super easy. Yeah.
Instead of putting that dark, ugly powder on my head that gets all over my carpets and stuff,
Right. That the studio lights are gonna melt.
or mascara and it just dries out your hair and you look close and it's like,
Yeah, it's
why is her hair have all
terrible.
these black flakes in it? But these are all the things that we do. And it's, to be
Yeah.
honest about it. And I
Yeah.
can't believe you help so many people. And what that does to boost your self confidence. And people might say, well, is it affordable? Is there finance plans? I mean, everything's relative, right?
Yeah.
I know you offer a free consultation, correct?
Absolutely.
And is it per session or is it like a package depending on what somebody needs? If
So
it is
normally
just,
we just quote people and price it out all the same. And normally if the person needs to,
yeah.
to, to, to pay it via a payment plan, then we just refer them to our third party company that we use, which is fantastic. Pay with Cherry, everybody uses them. But
Yes.
in general, anytime you're gonna have a cosmetic service, you pay up front, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, I'm a softie, so sometimes someone will be like, I pay the rest the second session, blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, whatever, just do it the second session. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm not a total Nazi about it because I know they really want it, and they might have a circumstance that's not allowing them to give me the full balance up front. But yeah, we try to cater to them.
but clearly it's amazing how kind you are and empathetic. And wow, as the owner of a company, that's awesome because I believe in good people, helping good people. And tell me about your partner now. This is a friend of yours you partner with. Who's that?
Yeah, so we met through the industry.
Okay.
And yeah, we had discussed working together. Like we hit it off really well for the conference. But then, life gets busy, life has other ideas. She was busy on the West Coast, I was busy on the East Coast. And then finally, I don't know, it just kind of like happened. We spoke about it one day and just made it final. And yeah, and she's, Benea Poindexter is a force of nature. Look her up.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is exciting. And at this time, let's just remind everyone all the ways that we can reach out to you. Would you mind sharing the website, Instagram, social media pages, all the above?
Yeah, absolutely. So the webpage is www.vanguardsmp.com. Instagram is the same Vanguard SMP. Facebook is the same Vanguard SMP. So it's pretty much uniform across the board. If you look for Vanguard SMP, you'll find us.
Beautiful. And can you tell us, especially personally, about how this changed your life and how it's changing clients' lives? Could you share some of your client stories with us?
Yeah, I mean the one that comes to mind is Joaquin. That's his name, Joaquin, right? So young guy, massive accident that he had. Like he almost died basically. Like he was in the hospital for like months and
Oh,
months and months and months. Anyway, so he ended up with because of the injury, he ended up with no hair on this side of his head and like a big like gnarly scar that came down this way,
mm,
right? So it was a challenge. It was a challenging case, but we're up for the challenge. So then like I worked on him, and then
oh,
I didn't expect his reaction as he's leaving on the last day. He turns to me at the doorway and says, "Dennis, I'm never gonna forget you."
oh,
And and then he hugged me, and I was like, ugh, because like I
tears.
could feel what it was like, what it was for him, and so I'm empathetic basically. I'm an empath, right? So I immediately knew what it meant for him, and that's yeah, that's rewarding, right? Because he could walk into the world and through the world with much more confidence.
Amazing. All right. So, by the way, you've been seen in GQ, Men's Health. This is Inside. You've been on TV shows talking about this work, and I can't believe all the amazing accolades. And I can't believe how good it looks. Please, you have to go check this out. Can I be honest
and
with you?
and you know what? It
What?
gets even better because the pictures that you're looking at are immediately post the last treatment, right? As soon as we're done. As it ages a little bit, it kind of settles into the skin and softens. And
Yeah.
I think it looks even better, actually.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a girl, from New York, and I have a lot of friends here, women who own a lot of, med spas, do laser treatments. My girlfriend is a permanent tattoo artist. She does, the brows, she does
Yeah.
the areola reconstruction. So I'm
Mm,
familiar with pigmentation when it comes to permanent makeup, in a sense. Never
right.
have I heard until today, at 46 years old, learning now about this for your head. I never even thought about it, and maybe I'm living under a rock, but
No, a
there's other
lot of
people out
people.
there that are like me and like, wow, today, like, wow. Not only did I learn something new, I know A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can keep going, the alphabet of people who suffer with this and the insecurity of
Yes.
not having that. This is a great
Yeah.
option. You are too scared for the scars, too scared for even I'll be honest, my dad. He's 74 now, but about 15 years ago, he went to the hair club for men, and it was just a disaster. And I'll speak openly about it because his license still has the picture of him with his like toupee thing on. It was
Hmm.
hideous. It was like a naughty like bird's nest that was just like there.
Yeah.
And then like he'd
Yeah.
go in the pool, he'd lift it up to tan with the tape, and it was sticky, and it was just like, and I felt so bad because then his friends started making fun of him at work, and he got even more insecure because now they're like, you're wearing a hairpiece, bro, and like, and men,
Yeah.
and maybe even back then a little more, that wasn't as acceptable. Nowadays the bald head is looking good and people are more confident, and even with cosmetic type of treatments like this, whether it's a surgery or whether it's the pigmentation process that you do. But yeah, it's like there's so many people out there that could benefit from this. And looking
Absolutely.
back at my dad, now he's like, whatever, he's too old, he doesn't even care. But back in the day, this would have been a great option. And now here we are, and there's still people in their 70s like my dad that I would love this. Oh my.
Yeah. I just completed a guy that was in his 70s. I completed his treatment, you know?
Well, are you, and naive question, but I haven't seen too many, but I'm sure you're even doing like a gray color. I'm sure for those with gray hair or those with
Yeah.
like a highlighted color, some light, some dark, you can mix it to
You
make.
you have to have the necessary knowledge to modify color in a way that's going to suit the client and in a way that ensures that it's going to age well,
Yes.
right? Because that's what
Yes.
people don't realize. Like when you use tattoo ink on someone to tattoo them in a cosmetic way, the ink degrades at different rates. The molecular components of the ink degrades at different rates. And so what started off as a brown pigment, because it didn't degrade evenly in the skin, now you have
Green.
blue or gray or
Yeah.
green brows,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that with a lot of people who do these brows because some do, again, I'm speaking just from what I think I know, but I don't really know. There's the microblading and then there's the permanent. There's two different ones and they
I
fight
used
over
to
what's
do
better.
I did permanent makeup at first for
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit.
Okay, okay. And
I made a cameo there, right? But I didn't stay there. And yeah, yeah. So it's that's exactly what you said. It is what it is.
but yeah,
Oh,
it's you
yeah.
could.
There's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said there was microblading. Don't ever get microblading.
That's the one. They say, what's the difference? I always forget, to be honest.
So that's basically the little cutting instrument that creates hair like strokes.
Yes.
Problem is that you are Caucasian, I'm assuming, right? You're
Yeah, and I'm pretty fair skin
yeah,
without
and I'm
makeup
Latino.
on.
So basically that was developed in Asia and it works best on Asian skin. For us, it
Hmm.
doesn't work well because the little strokes don't stay strokes. They just bleed out into
Bleed
each
and
other and
blend.
you
Yeah.
just have like a little shadow.
Yes, exactly. My mom, when she was alive, she had it. She had, I don't know what she had done, but looking back, it was probably like 30 years ago. And it's like her eyebrows were just so too enormously fake. It was like just two big tattoo strips of brown,
That
and
was
which
my
faded over time. And it was like a
yeah,
light brown yellow, which,
yes,
but
yes.
yeah. Oh, I
I
can't believe
remember those brows. My Aunt Martha had those brows.
Aunt Martha, my mom was Michelle, and she had
Wow.
and she had like the little ball here, like a oval and like a line like this. It was like an oval and then up and down,
The
like
shape
very
was probably all the way off. Yeah, it
yeah.
was for my auntie, but you know what are you gonna do?
I
It was
know they
it
like
was
the
the
way they
'80s.
look. Exactly. Hold on. So are you still do you even do brows for someone who maybe thin there as well with the hair, or it's
Had
strictly
a
just the
yeah. Yesterday, I had a male client who's having his SMP done. Asked me, do you do brows? I'm like, yeah, I'll do your brows. Yeah, but only when it comes in like that. Just
yeah, not
coincidentally,
just hey, come see me for brows. This is like the head stuff. Oh my God. And hold on. Can you, again, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask this question. Are you allowed to put it on their face like for like a hairline or that's too much?
wait, say that again.
Can you give someone like a beard line or a mustache
Yes,
line?
absolutely.
Oh,
It's just facial micropigmentation. Yes, you
got
can.
it. This is awesome. I cannot wait to tell everyone I know. I'm not kidding you. Like, my dad's too old. My brother-in-law is Puerto Rican. Edgar Rodriguez, if you're listening, I know you're working, you're not, but I'll make you watch this later. He's been bald since he was like 20 and he's like 50 something now. And
Yeah.
like, and he just has a shiny old head. And I feel bad because everyone always jokes about it with him. Oh, he's bald, he's bald. And it weighs on him. It weighs on all of us.
Yes. Listen,
Funny.
it weighs on people really, really heavily, even if they don't want to let on that it does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. And you can see it like the guys that come through here, even the women, but women kind of like their behavior is a little bit different. But the guys, you can see that the confidence is back, right? Because what ages you isn't the length or shortness of your hair, is whether you have a hairline or not and where it sits,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Because that's the frame of your face. If I didn't have a frame and my hair and my forehead went back to here, I'd look my age, you know?
Yeah. Holy cow. This is awesome. All right. So we still have 3 minutes left in the show. What
Yeah,
else do you want to make sure that we're covering for today since it is our first show? And I hope we get to speak again.
absolutely. Basically, I just want people to go out there and research it as an option for hair loss because it is effective. It is low cost in comparison to transplantation. Um, and yeah, the effect that you're going to get is just going to leave you in a place that is so much better, right? Even women, because like you have to think about women, like hair for women is such a symbol of femininity, right? It's
That's
such
what.
a symbol of femininity, right? It's just a woman's hair. And when you see a woman come into your office and she has none or very little, you can tell. Like it's even worse for women because y'all are held to a different standard.
It's true.
It's brutal. Those are the ones that I want to help the most. I help everybody, but like, my
Yeah.
ladies, because it's like I know, like I know it can't feel good when they look in the mirror.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. And let me ask, have you worked with people, men or women who underwent the chemotherapy and lost their hair and was able to do this, even though it's growing in, to still give them that more fullness look, before, it grows in. And I'm sure they still
Hmm.
come back to you because the hair grows in different anyway,
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't come back in
in the same
evenly.
spot or evenly. Yes.
So it's always good to help people who've been through that level of trauma, because of their illness to feel better.
Got it. Wow, this is awesome. And next time we meet, I'm hoping, by the way, I'm not logged into Instagram on my computer, so I can't look right now and
Mhm.
stalk you further, but I will now. But next time, if we get to speak again, I would love for us to share your screen and to see, because really for the video podcast portion, it's like seeing is believing. And what I'm
Yeah.
looking at now is super impressive. And wow. So you
Thank
have over
you.
10,000 happy clients, it says on the site. Over 10 years experience with scalp micropigmentation, but you have plenty more years with that with permanent makeup, right? So you are like,
Yeah.
and you look
Yeah.
so young.
The blood of virgins, the blood of virgins.
No, really, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So remind us of all the ways we can reach out. And by the way, it is a free consultation.
It is a free consultation always.
Wow. Thank you.
Yep. So
VanguardSMP.com.
vanguardsmp.com and across the board, Vanguard SMP, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And looking forward to the next time we get to connect. And amazing. And stay cool. Is it warm down there now?
It's 40 degrees. It might as well be Antarctica
You poor
for us.
thing. Yeah. I get it. I get it. But
I
you'll
know
be
you're not going to throw me a pity party, but
you'll be back to 60, 70 in no time. Good luck with
yes.
that. Okay. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today. And thank you for this amazing work you do. And I hope people do reach out to you and your team. Thanks again.
Are you guys tired of your hair loss? Are you guys tired of dealing with thinning hair? We specialize in scalp micropigmentation, which is a form of cosmetic tattooing that resolves many forms of hair loss. Like this one right here. This would be a density treatment, which would give him a fuller look, camouflaging some of the scalp. So if you want to get your self-assurance back and you want to hide some hair loss that's making you not so confident, we're Vanguard SMP. How about you come see us and we'll take care of you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.